Good day, everyone. In the last video, I realized na medyo mahirap unawain agad yung petty cash at saka yung bank reconciliation. So I decided to come up with a video fully explaining these two topics. Kasi kung isasama ko dun sa last discussion natin, masyadong magiging mahaba at tatama din ang kayong intindihan. This time, I created a special topic for everyone. Ito yung accounting for petty cash at saka how to prepare bank reconciliation statement. So, let me share my screen with you now. Here is the accounting for petty cash fund. Na-discuss ko naman na yan dun sa last video. So, itong ngayon, kung paano talaga yung accounting niya, one by one, from establishment. First, ito yung cycle niya eh. First, establishment. You put up the petty cash fund. Second, payment of expenses. Pagbabayad ng mga expenses out of petty cash fund. Third, replenishment of petty cash fund. Yung ibabalik muli kung magkano yung nagastos dun sa petty cash fund. And fourth, recording of expenses paid through petty cash fund. Pang-apat, i-record na natin yung expenses. Lahat. Gagawa tayong summary at saka isang mga journal entry to record the petty cash fund. So, yan yung apat na parang state transactions involving the petty cash fund. Establishment, payment of expenses, replenishment of petty cash fund, and recording of expenses paid through petty cash fund. Yung establishment, once lang yan gagawin. Pero yung payment of expenses, replenishment, recording of expenses, paid through petty cash fund, paulit-ulit yan. Yung establishment, kapag gusto lang bawasan or dagdagan yung petty cash fund, pag kunyari kulang yung fund, minsanan lang yan ginagawa. Diba? Ito yung entry to establish the petty cash fund. Kunyari, gusto ng business ng 1,000 lang kasi yun lang naman ang mga bayarin nila. Then, that is set up as debit to petty cash and credit to cash. Kung isa lang, kasi dalawang klase yung cash. It could be cash in bank and cash on hand. Or kung impress system yan, isang cash na lang. Lahat kasi ng pera nakadeposito sa bangko. Ang matitira lang cash sa custody ng business ay ang petty cash fund. Pag impress system, lahat ng collection for the day i-deposit on the next day. Walang maiiwan na pera sa store or office. Let's try to understand this petty cash fund by an example. The petty cash fund, so we already set up the 1,000 petty cash fund. Tapos, out of that 1,000, ito daw yung mga binayaran. Where's my magic ball pen? Gusto ko ngayon ay red. So, mas madaling hanapin itong red. Ang petty cash fund natin ay nagbayad na office supplies, 390. Gasoline, 155. Coffee and drinks for clients, 70. At ang total expenses natin ay 615. Nag-conduct ng cash count yung custodian ng petty cash at ang lumabas ay 365. So, ang total nitong dalawa ay 980 lang. Ibig sabihin, merong shortage na 20. Itong shortage na 20 ay isang internal transaction. So, adjusting entry yan. Itong tatlo na transaction, this is an exchange transactions or these are exchange transactions or external transactions. Kasi may mga source documents yan. May mga vouchers and resibo yan. Itong cash shortage, walang resibo yan. So, that is an adjusting entry. Ito is an ordinary journal entry. Paano ngayon ang pag-replenish? Kasi 635 yung nabayaran kasama yung shortage. So, papalitan natin ulit ng cash yung nabayaran. So, magde-debit tayo ng petty cash at credit ulit ng cash in bank. Ibig sabihin, ni-replenish natin yan. Pero at the same time, i-record na rin natin yung expenses. So, meron tayong supplies expense, fuel expense, miscellaneous expense, yung coffee. Pwede rin sa representation expense. Meron kasi representation expense kung sa client yan. So, then meron tayong cash shortage. Itong cash shortage ay other expense item, non-operating expense item. Itong tatlo, operating expense item. Itong isa, non-operating expense item. So, to replenish petty cash receipts on hand total 615 related to office supplies, gasoline, coffee drinks, remaining cash in the bank, bringing total to 900. As a 20 peso shortage was noted and replenished as well. So, yun yung explanation dito sa petty cash fund replenishment. Okay na tayo doon. Reviewin lang natin ha. Petty cash fund is a set up. Debit 1,000. Yun yung nasabi ng petty cash and credit cash. Debit petty cash fund, credit cash. Then, nagbayad ng utang, gumastos ng gumastos. Wala munang entrada habang gumagastos. Kasi petty transaction paulit-ulit mo ilalagay sa libro, maliliit lang naman. So, may logbook lang yan. Isusulat mo lahat magkano yung binayaran out of petty cash fund. Ngayon, kapag naubos na yung, o konti na lang yung petty cash, bago maubos yan, magpapareplenish na. So, sa replenishment, kung magkano yung natanggal dun sa pera, yun ang i-issuehan ng cheque or lalagyan ng pera. So, debit petty cash, credit cash, or cash in bank. Yan yung cheque na i-issue for the petty cash fund. Now, na-issue na yung cheque for the petty cash fund, i-record na yung expenses para ma-record na sa journal. So, gano'n ha, magse-set up, magbabayad ng expenses. Pag malapit nang maubos, i-replenish yung fund. And then, i-record na lahat ng expenses. Dito na tayo sa preparation of bank reconciliation statement. I-detalye na natin. May example na. Doon sa una overview lang. Ipinakita ko lang kung paano. So, what is a bank reconciliation statement? It is a statement prepared by the depositor, account holder business, to reconcile the differences in balances in the cash book. Teka muna, pause muna natin. Kasi magulo tong tindera na to. Hindi talaga ito tigil. Minto naman pala. Sige, tuloy tayo. Maingay tuloy. Okay, maingay yung aso. Patuloy na natin. Maingay talaga. Teka muna. Maya na natin ituloy. We go back to our lesson, no? Maingay ang aso. Yung disadvantage na mga recording and webinars, maingay ang mga aso. So what is a bank? Let's go back to the definition. What is the bank reconciliation statement? It is a statement prepared by the depositor to reconcile the differences in balances of the cash book, ending cash balance, and the balance per bank statement. It is the process of accounting for the differences between the balance appearing on the bank statement and the balance appearing on the cash book of the business. So, kunyari, at the end of the month, kailangan pareho kayo ng point of period na pinagre-reconcile. Baka mamaya, bank statement nyo, January. Tapos, yung cash balance nyo, February. Hindi pwede yon. So, kailangan yung reconcile ang nire-reconcile nyo na balances ay pareho. So, kung February or March yan, dapat February or March. February cash balance yan sa libro ng business. Dapat bank statement for the month of February also yung nire-reconcile nyo doon. So, ang target talaga natin sa reconciliation ay makuha natin yung actual cash balance, yung totoong cash balance natin. Kasi yun yung ilalagay natin sa financial statement. So, if we're preparing, kung gumagawa tayo ng financial statement for the month of February, so dapat malaman natin, ito ba talaga yung cash natin at the end of February. So, gagawa tayo ng bank reconciliation to determine kung ito nga ba yung cash na dapat na i-record natin sa i-present natin sa financial statement. Kung hindi, may mga kulang o may mga sobra, dapat i-update natin yan. Updating ang tawag ko, hindi mo na-adjusting kasi hindi mo alam kung external transaction yan or internal transaction. So, most of the time, external transaction yan. Kaya lang, dumadating yung source document at the end of the period na. Kaya hindi nare-record. Pero it doesn't mean that it is an internal transaction. So, kung mga external transactions yan, i-update natin yan. External transaction meaning katransact natin yung bangko or katransact natin ang second party through the bank. Kunyari, may collection tayo from customer, pero instead na sa atin yung lalapit yung customer sa bangko, or meron tayong babayaran na supplier, instead na tayo yung magbabayad, yung bangko yung nagbayad. So, these are exchange transactions. These are external transactions which have to be updated. Hindi to adjusting entry kasi hindi naman to internal transaction. So, we go to the next. One of the procedures for establishing the correct cash balance is the reconciling of the bank and book balances. The bank reconciliation explains the difference between the balance in the company's records and the balance in the bank's records. When completed, the reconciliation should show the correct cash balance. The differences arises from three sources: items in transit, errors, and service charges. So, ito yung mga sources ng differences. So, in transit, ang kalaban mo dito yung time. Recorded na yung transaction pero sa books, pero sa bangko, hindi pa because of time differences. So, yung error, ito yung error is an adjusting entry. Kasi error yan eh. Wala kang katransact dyan. Walang source document dyan. Itong service charges, this is an outright external transaction kasi yung bangko nag-i-issue yan ng credit debit memo para sa mga service charges and service income, credit memo. So the banks issue debit and credit memos for transactions undertaken or transactions recorded in the business account para ma-inform yung depositor kung ano-ano yung pagbabago doon sa cash balance niya. Items in transit arise from several circumstances. So, sabi, in transit, error, tsaka service charges and service income. Items in transit arise from several circumstances. The firm's account may contain a debit entry for a deposit that was not received by the bank prior to the statement date. So, yung cut-off. Gumawa ang bangko ng statement ganitong araw at cut-off nila lahat ng transaction after a certain after this hour, hindi na ipapasok doon sa araw na yon. Kunyari, 11 o'clock ang cut-off ng bangko for transactions. So, gagawa yan ng bank statement at the end of the period, at the end of the month na lahat ng transaction before 11 lang ang i-include nila. After 11 a.m., hindi na nila i-include. The following day na nila yan include. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na in transit na record na dun sa libro ng depositor, pero hindi pa nire-record ng bangko sa record sa account ng depositor. So, similarly, some of the checks credited to the ledger account will probably not have been processed by the bank prior to the bank statement date. Banks often record other decreases or increases to accounts and notify the depositor by mailed notices. Yung debit and credit memos yun, yung mailed notices. Examples include deposited checks returned for non-sufficient funds or notes collected on the depositor's behalf. Because these items are generally reported to the company prior to the bank statement date, they seldom appear on a reconciliation. Needs and importance of bank reconciliation statement. The bank reconciliation process offers several advantages, including, ito yung mga basic talaga for financial reporting. So, detecting errors such as double payments, missed payments, calculation errors. Then we have tracking and adding bank fees and penalties in the books. Spot fraudulent transaction and theft. Keeping track of accounts payable and receivable balls of the business. So, kasi reporting tayo, maraming purpose siyang bank reconciliation. Pero dahil tayo ay nasa bookkeeping, ito lang yung basic need natin or advantage given by bank reconciliation process. How time intervals impact a bank reconciliation statement. A bank reconciliation statement is prepared at the end of the month. The entries in this statement cease to cause difference after a few days. For example, if a businessman issues a check for $2,500 to one of his suppliers on May 28, it is quite possible that this check may not be presented by the supplier to his bank till June 5. The bank statement by the businessman at the end of May will not have an entry for this check, while the cash book would have the entry, thereby causing difference of $2,500 in the two balances. But on June 5, when the bank pays the check, the difference will cease to exist. Ano ibig sabihin? Usually, yung mga end of the month checks yung hindi makikita doon sa bank statement eh. Kasi the following day pa yon. Or kapag nag-issue ng check yung business, hindi lahat nagpe-present for payment dun sa bangko. Kunyari, ako supplier ng ABC company. Tapos, inisyan ako ng cheque ng ABC company. May 28 yung date na nakalagay. Tinatamad pa ako pumunta ng May 28. Pumunta na lang ako kasi marami pa siguro akong pera. Pumunta na lang ako sa bangko to present that check for payment, encashment on June 5. So, marirecord sa bangko yung payment sa akin on June 5 pa. Pero ang statement ginawa ng May 31. So, wala dun yung payment sa akin ng bangko. Sa June 5 pa makikita. So, time difference lang. Hindi na kailangan itong gawa ng adjusting entry kasi na-record na natin. Pero sa reconciliation, it will appear as a reconciling item. So, hindi lahat ng nasa bank reconciliation statement items, reconciling items, ay gagawa natin ng journal entry. Hindi. Kung na-record na ng business, hindi na kailangang i-record ulit. Ang i-record lang natin yung mga record na nasa bangko na hindi natin nare-record sa libro natin. Similarly, if a business deposits any checks on the last day of the month, these checks may be collected by his bank and shown on his bank statement 3 or 4 days later. While this case cause a difference in balances at the end of the month, the difference will automatically correct itself. Hence, the checks are collected by the bank. Hence, at the end of each month, the first thing to do is to consult the bank reconciliation statement prepared at the end of the previous month. The items therein should be compared to the new bank statement to check if these have been cleared. If so, these entries will not appear in the bank reconciliation statement prepared at the end of the current month. So, kailangan gumawa ka ng bank reconciliation statement last time. Kung ano yung mga reconciling items mo doon, dapat makita mo na sa bank statement. Yung mga outstanding checks mo, yung diniscuss natin kanina, na example, outstanding check ang tawag doon. Yung na-issue na, pero hindi pa na-ipe-present for encashment. So, outstanding check yon. Ito naman, may mga tinanggap yung business na cheque, diniposito niya sa bangko, pero hindi pa na-record ng bangko as of bank statement date. So, ang tawag naman dito ay deposit in transit. Na-record na sa libro, pero hindi pa na-record sa bangko. So, kung meron kang ganito na outstanding checks at deposit in transit, nakagawa ka na kunyari ng December 31 ng bank reconciliation statement mo, pagdating ng February bank statement, tingnan mo ngayon kung lahat ng outstanding checks na bayaran na, lahat ng deposit in transit ay na i-record na ng bangko. Ganun yung pag-check mo. Bago ka mag-proceed sa next bank reconciliation statement mo. So, every month, naggagawa ka dapat ng bank reconciliation statement para makita mo kung yung mga in-check na in-issue mo ay na-encash na ng mga taong pinag-issuehan mo. At yung mga cheque na tinanggap mo para i-deposito sa bangko ay na-credit na, na-clear na. Kasi minsan may nagtatalbugan na cheque na tinatawag. Ibig sabihin, yung bouncing checks, yung no sufficient fund checks. Yun, ibinabalik yun ng bangko dun sa business, sa depositor. Tapos ito naman depositor, hahabulin niya yung nag-issue ng cheque sa kanya para palitan ng cash or palitan ng good check. Na visualize nyo na ba yung operation sa bangko? Ako, magde-deposit ako sa bangko, current account. Mag-i-issue ako ng cheque sa ibang tao. Parang yun yung magiging cash ko. Itong ibang tao na to, ipe-present nila sa bangko ko yung cheque para ma-encash. Instead na ako magbibigay ng cash sa kanila, yung bangko magbibigay. Now, itong binigyan ko, hindi kagad pupunta sa bangko on the date na nakalagay yon. At kung dumating yung bank statement na hindi kasama yon, ang tawag doon ay outstanding checks. Now, yung ibang tao naman may check i-issue sa akin yung check Pag-issue sa akin ng check na yun, i-deposit ko sa bangko para makredit sa account ko. Kapag yung check na yun, walang pondo, babalik sa akin yun ng bangko. Hindi niya i-add yan sa balance ko sa deposit. Ang gagawin ko naman, i-re-record ko ulit yung account receivable ng tao at hahabulin yung tao para palitan ng cash yung cheque. Kung wala na akong tiwala, papapalitan ko ng cash yung cheque. Or kung meron siyang good check ng ibang tao sa kanya. Kasi yung cheque niya pumuputok nakakatakot. So, ganun ang proseso ng cheque. Yung dineposit ko sa kanya, ibabalik sa akin ng bangko. Magkakaroon ako ng pagbabago ng entrada dahil yung dating debit accounts, cash in bank ko and credit accounts receivable ko, pumutok yung check, ibabalik ko na naman na debit accounts receivable and credit cash in bank. So, yun yung mga dapat yung maunawaan sa bank reconciliation. Iba yung bank reconciliation statement sa bank statement, ha? Yung bank reconciliation statement, ito na yung nire-reconcile mo yung cash books at saka yung bank statement. So, 3 things yan. Meron kang cash book ng client at meron kang bank statement ng bangko. Ini-issue ng bangko yung bank statement at the end of the month. Tapos, itong cash book naman, ina-update at the end of the month. So, gagawa ka ng statement na nagbabalanse itong dalawang balances na to para masabi mong totoo nga yung cash balance na i-report mo for financial statement purposes sa financial statement. So, example tayo para mas makita nyo. The following is the bank column cash books prepared by Ann Lawrence on May 20, 2020. May 31, 2020. Ito na yung ending ng balance niya. Ay, ito yung mga entrada sa cash book niya. Ito yung beginning balance. Ito yung deposits. Ayan, mga deposit niya. And then, mga issuances ng cheque. So, these are disbursements. So, ayan na. So, kunin niyo yung difference niyan. Yun yung ending balance. So, ito naman yung na-receive niya na bank statement. Ito yung cash book. Yung ledger ng cash. Yan ang laman. Ito ang bank statement, ito yung laman. So, may deposit na 355. Ayun deposit. Withdrawal. Kasi pag credit sa bangko, ibig sabihin may pera siya doon Pag dinebit ng bangko, ibig sabihin nabawasan yung pera. Baliktad. Sa cash book natin, nakadebit ka, nadagdagan yung ano mo, nadagdagan yung let's go back. Bumalik. So, nadagdagan yung pera mo. Pero sa bank statement, nag-debit ka, nabawasan yung pera mo. That is why, itong debit na to ay kamukha ng credit ng cheque. So, nag-debit uli, 7. Nag-debit uli. Tapos, itong 2540, wala ka namang in-issue ng ganitong amount. Walang in-issue na ganitong amount ng cheque. Unpaid check. Ano itong unpaid check na to? Sa susunod na amount, itong 5850, Wala doon. Nandito sa atin, itong dalawang to, parehong wala. So, itong 440 nandun. Itong 920, wala din. Itong, hindi ko makita itong isa. Hindi ko makita yung amount. Ano ba itong amount dito? Standing order payment rent. Ito, may authority, may ano ang bangko na authority ang bangko na magbayad ng rent para sa client o depositor. Tapos ito may bank charges. Siyempre, wala ito talaga doon sa record ng client or ng business kasi nasa banko yung record niya. Pati itong standing order. Itong dalawa. Talagang wala kasi bangko lang nakakaalam niya. Pero itong ang dalawa, check 1788. 78. Hindi. Andito pala yung 788. Pero itong unpaid check na 2540. Ito pala yung 788. Ayun pala yun. 788-1235. Itong 2540 unpaid checks. Itong wala. Isa lang ang wala. So, anong reason niya? A careful comparison of the above two documents or previous documents would disclose the following. Deposits made by Anne on May 30. Teka, hindi natin na-analyze yung deposit. Balikan natin. Yung deposit naman, ito kasi yung withdrawal, yung checks lang yung na ano natin, no, na-analyze. So, ito yung check 782. Itong 791, wala yata ito. Hindi pa na-clear. Hindi pa na-present for payment nung inisyan, saka ito. Ang dalawa ito. Now, dun sa deposit paid na natin, ito nag-deposit ng May 5. May 5. Ay, teka. Bakit? Balance ito eh. Balance ito nung beginning balance ito. Nag-reconcile na sila nung bangko noon. So, 735 ang bangko. Etong deposit, bakit 14,000? Dito ay May 5 ay 6320 lang. Ang deposit dito ay 14,155. Tapos, susunod, check number 786. Deposit. Ito, may deposit. Balance pala to, sorry. Nalilito na ako. Sorry. Balance pala yan. Ito tayo. 6320. Ang hirap mag-discuss pa wala may ingay na kapitbahay. Tapos, ito, 1450. Ito, 2540. Ito, 360. Ito, 320. Naka-record. Tapos, yung 28, walang deposit. May deposit na 5,000. Wala naman tayong din-deposit na 5,000 dito. So, ito yung nagkakos ng, saan galing yung 5,000 na yan. So, deposit daw eh. Tapos, ito, wala na. Hindi na naka-record itong dalawa. Itong 1810. Baka 2220 deposit in transit na siguro yan. Tingnan natin kung tama. So, deposits made by Anne Lawrence on May 30, 1,810 and May 31, 2,200 have not been credited to the bank statement. O, tama yung analysis natin. Hindi na record itong dalawa. So, ito yung tinatawag na deposit in transit. Tapos, yung check 789 and 791 do not appear on the bank statement. O, tingnan natin yung ni-note natin. Etong dalawa. Tsaka ito. O, tama. Tapos yung dalawang expenses na chinekan natin. So, tama yung ano natin. Pagtingin. So, itong dalawang check na to, ito yung tinatawag na outstanding checks na issue na hindi pa na-present. Ito naman, deposit in transit na record na sa libro, hindi pa nakikredit ng bangko. Now, a deposit of 5,000, yung kaninang tinatanong ko, na hindi naman dineposit na ng client or ng business, pero merong nakalagay na 5,000. Nasa bank statement siya, pero wala siya sa books of cash ledger natin ng business. So, this must be a direct deposit received by the bank. Kumbaga, merong customer yung business na diretso nang nagbayad sa bangko. May note na in-issue yung tao na yon, diretso siya nagbayad sa bangko. Ngayon, meron tong check deposited. Ito yung no sufficient fund check unpaid. So, walang record ang libro nito kasi ang nakakaalam lang nito bangko. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na meron tayong customer na cheque binayad sa atin, dineposit natin sa bangko, wala palang pondo. So, ibabalik sa atin ng bangko. Ibabalik din natin dun sa nag-issue sa atin. So, these are insufficient fund checks. So, no sufficient fund check. So, insufficient fund check or no sufficient fund check. Ito ay kailangan na entrada dito. Standing order payment of 1,000 for rent also fails to appear in the cash flow. Kasi sometimes yung bangko ino-authorize ng business na mag-deduct na for rent or for utilities dun sa savings account or dun sa current account ng business. So, ito, walang record ang business pero meron ang bangko. Ang bangko may authority mag-deduct para sa payment ng rent. Pero, hindi alam kaagad yan ng business. Kaya hindi na-record kaagad. So, it has to be recorded. So, this is an external transaction. The cash book does not have record of the bank charges. For sure, kasi yung bangko yung automatic na tinatanggal yung bank charges. Hindi pa alam ng business yon or ng client. So, it is apparent that the cash book should be updated by recording therein items C, D, E, and F. Ito lang ang i-record nating transaction sa ating libro. Kasi ito lang yung may effect dun sa equation na asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Ito lang yung may mga effect dun sa cash transaction. Ito kasing deposit in transit. Na-record na natin sa libro. Inaantay na lang natin i-record ng bangko. Ito ring check na 789 at 91. Na-record na natin sa libro. Iniintay na lang ng bangko mag-present sa kanila para mabayaran. So, time difference lang to. Hindi to recording difference. Ang i-record natin ang transaction na ilalagay natin ay yung may recording difference. Ibig sabihin, ni-record ng bangko pero hindi natin na-record. Or ni-record natin pero pagdating sa bangko, hindi dapat i-record. Katulad ng pumutok na cheque kasi walang pondo. So, ito yung cash book natin. Ito yung balance brought forward. Tapos, lahat ng deposit, lahat ng reconciling items natin, i-update na natin. Kasi ito yung ni-recognize na natin yung, ito lang i-recognize natin. Yung 5,000, letter E. So, letter E. I-debit natin by 5,000 yung cash natin kasi tinanggap ng bangko yan para sa atin. Pero wala tayong record. And then, dito sa disbursement natin, marami-rami yung disbursement. Ito yung no sufficient fund check natin. Ibabalik natin, ima-minus natin sa cash natin yan. Kasi dinebit natin yan sa cash. Akala natin may pondo eh. Wala palang pondo. So, ima-minus natin. Tapos, itong binayaran na cash ng bangko. Wala tayong record niyan. So, ilalagay natin. Ganun din yung service charge. So, ang magiging balance, pag tinotal mo to, at tinotal mo to, ang magiging difference niyan ay 7,090. Ito yung ending cash balance natin. Ito yung ending cash balance. So, balance na yan. Close na yan. Na-close na natin ang cash account natin. So, bago tayong mag-close or mag-summarize ng ating cash balance, kailangan nakagawa muna tayo ng una yung replenishment ng petty cash fund and then reconciliation of bank statement para itong cash book natin, tama talaga itong balance na makikita natin. Itong balance na to ay correct na balance na. Kung mistop tayo, hindi natin ginawa yung bank reconciliation tsaka replenishment of petty cash fund. Okay lang yung petty cash fund, ibang account yun, no? Pero kailangan ma-update mo rin. Pero itong bank book mo, itong cash book mo na to, na para sa cheque mo, paano yan? Kung hindi mo na-record itong mga transaction na to. It's either magiging overstated yung accounts receivable mo, understated yung dito mag-overstate yung yung ma-understate mo yung expenses mo. So, magkakaroon na understatement ng expenses at saka overstatement of accounts receivable. Hindi na totoo yung financial statement na magagawa mo. So, there are formats used, different formats used in the preparation of bank reconciliation statement. Meron tayong, wala akong makitang term na ginagamit nila. But for me, I will call this conforming balances. Kino-conform mo yung balance ng book sa bank. Kasi kunyari, meron bank balance. I-adjust mo yung bank balance mo para maging katulad ng book balance mo. So, you have to have a conforming balances. Iaayon mo yung balance ng bangko mo dun sa balance ng book mo. Or the other way around. Iaayon mo yung balance ng book mo dun sa balance ng bangko mo. So, tinawag ko itong conforming balances. The balance of one must conform to the balance of the other. The balance of bank must conform to the balance of books. The balance of books must conform to the balance of bank. Walang makitang description dyan eh. Pero nung nag-aaral ako, tinatawag lang yun ng bank to books, books to banks. Pero pareho lang yan eh. Yan dalawang yan, pareho lang. Magkaiba lang yung simula. Yung isa nagsisimula ka sa bank, magiging balance per book. Yung isa magsisimula ka sa balance per book, magiging balance per bank. Kaya tinawag ko yung conforming balances. Yung isa magko-conform sa other. Now, yung pangalawang style naman, hindi mo i-conform eh. Kukuhanin mo pareho yung balances nila. ito yung balance ng books, ito yung balance ng bank. You have to arrive at the same balances using the reconciling items available. So, let's see kung paano yung gagawin. So, the debit balance shown in the completed cash book is 7,090, while the bank statement shows a credit balance of 9,870. So, ito yung balance per book. Kailangan ma-achieve mo yung balance per bank na 9,870. So, i-confirm mo yung book balance to the bank balance. Ano-ano ba yung reconciling items natin doon? Ano yung hindi naka-record sa bangko pero naka-record sa atin? So, tatanggalin natin yon. I-add back natin yon. Kumbaga, hindi natin i-record. Kaya, tinanggal natin yung outstanding check, hindi naman nakatanggal sa bangko. So, i-add natin yun kasi hindi naka-record sa bangko. So, i-add natin sa cash natin kasi hindi naman minus ng bangko. So, ayan yung total niya. So, meron tayong balance na 13,900. Ito naman, checks deposited but not credited by the bank. So, meron tayong deposit in transit. Ni-record natin na deposit pero hindi naman nire-record ng bank na deposit mo. So, ima-minus mo yan dun sa cash book mo para magbalanse kayo ng bangko. So, ito yung total niya. So, ano nangyari? Yung 7,090 mo, katulad na ng 9,870 ng bangko. Pareho na kayo ng balance. So, kino-confirm yung balance ng book dun sa balance ng bank. Ibig sabihin, ina-admit mo na tama yung bangko, ikaw yung mali. So, lahat ng mga meron ka na wala sa bangko, i-adjust mo. Lahat ng meron sa bangko na wala ka, hindi mo na pakikialaman eh. Hindi mo na pakikialaman yung bangko kasi i-consider mo siya na tama siya. Ikaw yung mali. So, lahat ng mga wala sa bangko na meron ka, aalisin mo. Lahat ng meron ka na wala ka na meron sa bangko, ilalagay mo. So, ganun yung conforming balances. Nagko-conform yung isang balance dun sa kabilang balance. So, tapos na tayo sa book to bank. Na-reconcile na natin using book to bank. Tama yung bangko. Tayo yung mali. Ngayon, ito naman ay mali. Ako yung mali. Ngayon, ito naman, bank to book. Tayo yung tama ngayon. Tayo yung tama. Ito yung balance natin eh. 790. Ito. Kailangan tong 9,870 ng bangko mag-conform sa balance natin na 7,090. So, ito yung bank statement natin. Kung ano naman yung naka-record sa atin na hindi naka-record sa bangko, ilalagay natin sa bangko. O yung deposit in transit natin, naka-record na sa atin yun, pero hindi naka-record sa bangko. So, i-add natin. So, ito ang total. Ito yung cash. Total cash received. Tapos, meron tayong outstanding checks na minus na natin sa libro natin, pero hindi pa na minus sa bangko. So, ima-minus natin sa bangko. So, ang balance natin per bank statement na 9,870 ay magiging 7,090. Kamukha na ng balance natin per cash book. Ito yung balance natin. Nag-conform na yung bank statement, bank balance dun sa cash book balance natin. So, yun kaya tinawag ko siyang conforming balances. Nagko-conform yung isang balance to the other balance. Now, we have another. Ang tawag ko naman sa kanya ay congruent balances. Kumbaga, you will take the balance of the the balance of the bank statement and the balance of the cash book equally. kumbaga, kung saan sila magpapantay na balances. So, pareho sila ng kakalabasan na adjusted balance. So, ito, balance per books. Ito yung atin, 709. Ito yung sa bangko. So, paano naman ang treatment niyan para ma-reconcile? So, yung eventually, yung na-issue natin na check na hindi pa na-record ng bangko, i-record natin back sa libro natin. Kasi hindi naman na credit ng bangko. Tapos yung bangko naman na hindi niya na-record, pero may record na tayo, ilalagay din niya sa kanya. So, ito yung total ng outstanding checks, ito yung total ng deposit in transit. Pag in-add mo, pareho na sila. Yan ang tinawag kong congruent balances. Equal yung balances nila. Hindi nagko-confirm yung isa to the other. Pareho sila separately, pinitake mo yung mga adjustments nila to come up with bank reconciliation statement. Naintindihan nyo na sana, ha? Yung isa, bank to book, bank to book, book to bank, yun yung tinatawag kong, ako lang yung tumatawag noon kasi walang pangalan pa yun so far eh. So I call it conforming balances. Now ito naman na pareho sila ng balance, congruent balances ang tawag ko. So understanding other reconciling items in the bank reconciliation statement. So bank debit and credit memos. Verify all debit and credit memos on the bank statement. Debit memos reflect deductions for such items as service charges, no sufficient fund checks, safe deposit box rent, and notes paid by the bank to the depositor. Credit memos reflect additions for such items as notes collected for the depositor by the bank and wire transfer of funds from another bank in which the company sends funds to the home office bank. So, may mga transaction yung business sa bangko na nag-authorize sa bangko na bayaran mo to. Itong mga account na to, pag nagbigay ng notice, bayaran mo to. So, itong mga to nagbabawas ng mga pera, nagbabawas ng pera sa account ng business. Kaya ang tawag dyan ay debit memo. So, debit memos, dinedebit yung account ng business. Diba? Kanina nakita nyo dun sa bank statement. Pag naka-debit, expenses. Pag naka-credit, deposit. Pag naka-debit, withdrawal. Pag naka-credit, deposit. Yun yung bank statement. So, kaya, pag naka-debit, debit memo. Pag naka-credit, credit memo. So, pag naka-receive ka ng debit memo sa bangko, ibig sabihin, nabawasan yung pera mo. Pag naka-receive ka ng credit memo sa bangko, ibig sabihin, nadagdagan yung pera mo. Credit memos reflect addition for such items as notes collected for the depositor by the bank and wire transfer of funds from another bank in which the company sends funds to the home office bank. Ito yung ito naman yung may authority yung bangko na bayaran ka in behalf of another person. So check the bank debit and credit memos with the depositor's books to see if they have already been recorded. So make journal entries for items not already recorded in the journal books. So So take note, these are all external transactions kasi mayroong debit and credit memos. Kaya lang, hindi natin ma-record during the month or during the period kasi at the end of the month pa natin nakukuha yung bank statement. So these are not adjusting entries because these are not internal transactions. These are updating entries of external transactions kasi exchange transaction yan eh. That is a transaction with the bank and transaction with a second party through the bank. Sana clear yun sa inyo para hindi kayo malito. Alam mo, daming confusion. When I was studying accounting, nako-confuse ako kasi hindi ko mag-visualize. Pero ngayon, tinuturo ko sa inyo, external and internal. Madali nyo na mag-visualize. Kasi pag internal transaction, mahirap kasi mag-iisip-isip ka. Katulad ng shortage. That is an internal transaction. Hindi mo makakita kaagad Kailangan mo mag-analyze. So you have to replenish the petty cash fund. You have to compute for your cash para malang makita mo kung may shortage o wala. Pero kapag ka external, may document ka Katulad dito, titignan mo lang yung debit memo, credit memo, i-record mo na. So, teka, ito na yung mga reconciling items. Or dapat yung maunawaan sa paggawa ng bank reconciliation statement. So, check, unpresented, outstanding, not cash or uncashed checks. Tawag lang dyan, outstanding checks. Ito yung checks na nasabi ko na in-issue ng business pero hindi pa na-present for encashment nung tao na pinag-issuehan ng business. Deposit in transit checks, yung mga na-collecta natin check, dineposit natin, pero hindi pa ni-record ng bangko as our deposit. Bank charges, ito yung bank charges. Take note that the deposit in transit checks and outstanding checks, walang walang updating journal entry, walang journalizing na gagawin. Kasi eventually, magiging tama naman yung record ng bangko Pero pagdating sa bank charges, magkakaroon tayo ng entry sa libro natin. We have to debit our bank charges and credit cash in bank. Minsan, nagbibigay ng interest ang bangko dun sa ating current account or sa account natin. So, yung interest na yun, automatic na kinikredit ng bangko sa ating account, pero hindi natin alam. So, we have to debit cash in bank and credit interest income on bank deposit. Interest income on bank deposit is a non-operating income. So, direct deposit to the bank, hindi natin alam, may nag-deposito na para sa atin. So, we have to debit cash in bank and credit accounts receivable. Direct payment by the bank. Mayroon tayong utang, binayaran ng bangko, hindi natin alam. Katulad yung rent expense. So, debit natin or kung nag-issue tayo ng note doon, notes payable, credit. Siyempre, kailangan ng evidence. So, usually, it's a note payable. So, debit the liability and credit cash in bank. Binabawasan natin yung liability natin at binabawasan natin yung cash natin. Errors and omissions. So, itong errors and omissions, adjusting entries to kasi wala naman tayong katransact dito Error to ng natin or ng bangko. So, tingnan natin. Bank error. Sometimes banks make errors by depositing or taking money out of business account in error. The owner needs no contact with the bank to correct these errors, but there will be no entry needed because the bank error is unrelated to business record. So kapag bank error yan, ipapatama lang natin sa bangko yung balance natin. Pero wala tayong adjusting entry kasi hindi naman part ng records natin yung records ng bank. Basta tayo, yung record lang natin. So, a bank error is a task for us to get that error corrected. Kailangan maipatama natin yung error na yan. Ngayon, kung book error yan, a common error by depositor is recording a check in the accounting records at an amount that differs from the actual amount. For example, a 4,700 check may be recorded as 7,400. Although the check clears the bank at the amount written on the check, 4,700, the depositor frequently does not catch the error until reviewing the bank statement or canceled checks. The books have to be adjusted to record the correct amount of disbursement. So, ni-record mo na 4,700 yung check Nag-issue kang check 4,700. Nilagay mo sa check 4,700. Pero pag gawa mo ng journal entry, 7,400. Pagdating ngayon ng bank statement, makikita mo, 4,700 lang pala yung inisyo ko. Bakit 7,400 yung na-record ko? So you have to make a correcting entry on that. Yun, yan? Adjusting entry yan kasi error yan. Wala kang exchange transaction dyan. That is an internal transaction. Error is an internal transaction. So you have to make adjusting entry. You have to credit, you have to debit cash in bank for the difference and credit accounts payable for the difference. Tsak nagbayad ka ng utang, depende kung ano yung ipinartner mo dun sa cash in bank. Kaya adjust mo accordingly kung ano ba yung pinartner mo dyan. So thank you for viewing. We are done with this special discussion on petty cash fund and bank reconciliation statement. Talagang pinaglaanan ko to ng time para maunawaan nyo kasi ito yung mga topics na madalas hindi maunawaan ng mga bata kahit ako nung araw, di ko rin to naintindihan. Mahirap intindihin. Pero I hope sa paulit-ulit na panonood nyo nitong video na to, maintindihan nyo. Mas magandang maintindihan nyo to kasi importante yung cash Yun yung cash balance na iba-vouch natin na totoo itong sinulat ko na cash balance na to. Paano mo malalaman yan ngayon totoong cash balance mo kung hindi mo man lang ni-review yung petty cash fund mo or yung bank statement mo. So you cannot give an assurance, tama itong ginawa ko unless you do these two things. Replenish petty cash fund and prepare a bank reconciliation. So have a blessed day ahead. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope i-share nyo sa iba. Kung natututo kayo, wag lang kayo. Baka tulad kayo nung mahal na mahal ko dito na wag daw akong magturo, wag ko daw galingan ng turo kasi mas gagaling yung iba sa kanya. So that is not true. Kapag magaling ka talaga kahit magaling pa yan iba. So wag kayong maging greedy na kailangan nakakalang. That's not true. Every knowledge is available to everyone. So share nyo para matuto rin yung iba. Habang nagsishare kayo sa kapwa nyo, lalo kayong tatalino. Kasi the ultimate giver of wisdom is God. So kung nakikita ng God na busilak yung puso nyo, mas lalo kayong bibigyan ng katalinuhan. Yung kasapi man, hindi mag-bear fruit ng maganda yan. Pero yung generosity, nako, may power ang generosity that you cannot estimate. So, share kung natutunan nyo itong video na to and try to wait for some of the videos pa. Marami kayong matututunan sa channel na to kasi I prepared it as one complete set of lessons. So, ngayon, para sa ABM kayo, natapos na ako dun para sa yung isang good set natapos ko para sa accounting students. Itong set na to para sa ABM students, medyo mababaw yung discussion hanggat kaya kong ipaunawa sa inyo, pinapaunawa ko sa inyo. The next topic will be taxation. Medyo mahirap na yon, pero try nyo rin panoorin kasi kung BSA talaga pinupurso nyo, ang pinakamahirap na subject is taxation. Kasi kukunti lang yung time allotted, tapos ang daming topics. Pero dito sa YouTube na to, makikita nyo isa-isa, advance na yung learning nyo, mapagtsatsagaan nyo na. So, see you on the next video. God bless and good luck sa inyong pag-aaral. Thank you for watching. Ayaw mag-click.